At the end of August 1973, 40-year-old bank clerk Philip McDowell returned with his wife and two teenage children from their annual holiday in Wales. His life seemed to run according to a set pattern. But within 6 weeks, his wife had left him, he'd lost his job, his mortgage was in arrears, and he was charged with abducting a 14-year-old girl, Fiona Sumner, who lived in the same road. The second day of McDowell's trial at Fulchester Crown Court has begun, and the girl in question, Fiona Sumner, is giving evidence.
So, from time to time, you used to visit the accused when he was working on his Austin 7 in his garage?
Yes.
How often?
I didn't count. Once or twice a week.
At least once a week.
Why did you do that?
I don't know.
What did you do in the garage?
Just talked. And sometimes I helped him, holding a spanner or a bolt or something.
But if these visits were all so innocent, why did you conceal them from your mother?
I don't know. Well, I suppose I thought she wouldn't like it. She doesn't mean to be, but she's jealous. She doesn't like me spending much time with other people.
Yes, I see.
Did you like Mr. McDowell?
I did then, yes.
Why?
He was, well, different. He listened. You could say anything to him.
Yes, I see. Now, did you visit the garage on the weekend of the 1st and the 2nd of September?
Yes.
When?
On Sunday, I think it was.
And did Mr. McDowell tell you something?
Yes.
What was it?
He said that Noel Dobbs had driven from Fulchester to John O'Groats the week before.
Did you know who Noel Dobbs was?
Oh, yes. He also had an Austin 7, a Nippy. He lives in Apsley.
What else did McDowell say?
He said that Noel had done the journey in just over 14 hours. He said that was an average of about 30 miles an hour and that we'd never hear the end of it.
Then what happened?
I asked him if he could do it quicker.
And what did he say exactly?
He said, "What? In the mighty machine?" That's what he called his car. "Sure I can, Fee." That's what he called me.
Then what?
I said, "Well then, why don't you?" And he said, "All right, Fee, I will, when my holiday comes up."
Was there any more discussion about it on that occasion? Did you visit the garage again the following week?
Yes.
When?
On Wednesday, I think.
And did he discuss his record attempt then?
Yes, he said he'd half a mind to go next week. Oh, but later on...
Can you remember his exact words?
Well, I'll try. He said, "Fee, why don't you come with me? It's nice enough to have the hood down."
What did you say?
I said I couldn't. School was starting, and anyway, Mum wouldn't let me.
And what did he say?
He said, "Well, don't tell your Mum then." He got quite worked up on the idea. He said he'd thought it all out and we could go on Sunday.
Did you want to go?
No, not at first, but, well, he went on and on, so in the end I said I would. I was to go round on Sunday at 2:30, after lunch, when Mrs. McDowell would be washing up.
So she wasn't to be told either then? Is that what you did?
Yes.
When did you arrive in John O'Groats?
On Monday at about 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, was that a new record?
No.
Pity.
Did you then set out for home?
No.
Why not?
He wouldn't. He said he wanted us to do a tour of the West Coast.
Again, did you want to?
No.
Why not?
Well, I knew that Mum and everyone would be worried.
So what happened?
Well, I was very tired, so I said I'd try and get some sleep in the car.
Go on.
Well, I curled up under the rug in the passenger seat. He just wandered off by himself for a bit. Later he came back and sat beside me and put his arm round me. I pretended to be asleep, and eventually I went to sleep.
What's the next thing you remember?
When I woke up, he was fast asleep with his head on my shoulder. I tried to get out of the car without waking him, but when I opened the door, he woke and said, "Where are you going?" I told him I was going home.
What was his reaction to that?
Well, he said I wasn't going anywhere. He took hold of me and shook me. I was scared. I tried to get away, but we both fell over and I hit my leg against a rock. It was bleeding. I just got up and ran. When I looked back, he was just lying there on the ground.
Yes. And as we know, you finally arrived home on the evening of Thursday, the 13th of September.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Miss Sumner, you were brought up, were you not, in the belief that your father was dead?
Yes.
Yes. And what, in fact, did your mother say had happened to your father?
She said he'd been killed in a road accident.
And you believed that until this year?
Yes.
Yes. You had no recollection of your father?
What?
You don't remember ever having seen your father?
No.
No. And what did you know about him? You did know something about him, didn't you?
That he went to Cambridge, I knew that. And that he was well off. He had no brothers or sisters, And his parents were dead. Oh, yes, he liked cars. And he was good at games.
Was that all you knew? Didn't you ask any more of your mother?
Yes, I did, but... Well, she always said that talking about him upset her. She always said, "You don't want to go on upsetting me, do you? So stop asking these questions."
Now, you knew, did you not only that he'd been to Cambridge, but you knew the name of his college.
Oh, yes, Mum did tell me that once. Trinity Hall.
And you told Mr. McDowell this, didn't you, in about July?
I told him all sorts of things. I trusted him.
And he suggested that you should write to Trinity Hall in case they had a photograph of your father somewhere.
Yes.
And you did write, didn't you?
Yes.
And the college did have a photograph. And they sent you a copy. So you discovered what your father looked like.
Yes.
Yes. And you discovered from the college something else, didn't you? That your father was alive.
Well, that's what they said, but they were wrong.
How do you know?
Because if he was alive, he'd have wanted to see me. The college got it all wrong. Well, they were talking about someone else called Sumner. I mean, there must be thousands of people called Sumner. You know, if
I'll come to all this later, Miss Sumner, but the fact is that in July, the college sent you a photograph. And with it, a covering letter from the head porter saying that he assumed you were a relation of Archibald Sumner and therefore might like his present address. And you told Mr. McDowell this, and you showed him the photograph on Sunday, the 2nd of September. Now, may we be shown Exhibit 4, please? Is that the photograph, Miss Sumner?
Yes. Yes, that's the one. I tore it up.
If Mrs. Sumner wishes to look at this photograph later on, she may do so. No doubt she will be able to tell us whether the college has got her husband confused with someone else or not.
I'd rather not see it, if you don't mind. I have no wish to see it.
We shan't make you, Mrs. Sumner. Now, when you received this photograph and the letter from your father's old college, did you not then discuss the matter with your mother? Why not?
Well, I thought obviously she didn't want me to know about him. I thought she might stop me... Well, interfere. Well, it was obviously no good talking to her about him, was it?
And then you said, if we went for Noel Dobbs' record, we could go and look for father too. Will you take me?
No, it was his idea to go to Scotland.
Miss Sumner, just answer the question. Did you say the words I've just read out?
No.
And Mr. McDowell said you couldn't go without your mother's permission.
No, he said I wasn't to tell anyone.
And then he said he would take you if your mother agreed and that you were to ask her and let him know.
No, that's not true. He knew if I asked my mother she wouldn't let me go. But he just kept on saying, "Come on, Fee, it'll be such fun," and how smashing the weather was, and wouldn't I like to see my dad?
What was the factor that persuaded you to go? The chance to see your father?
Well, I wouldn't have gone otherwise.
And this was his suggestion and not yours?
Yes.
And the journey, on the journey, you and Mr. McDowell, you got on very well, didn't you? You called him Phil, and he called you Fee.
Yes.
Yeah. And the weather was very beautiful, wasn't it? And you had picnics? Yes. And you were really enjoying yourself. You were really enjoying getting away from home, away from your mother for the first time in your life. Weren't you?
Yes.
Yes. And then, when you got to John O'Groats, you wanted to go and see your father.
Oh, I did want to see my father, yes.
Yes. But it was early in the morning when you got to John O'Groats, wasn't it? And you were both tired, and Mr. McDowell said that you ought to telephone first, so you slept until 9 o'clock. Yes. And then you telephoned and spoke to your father and asked if you could go and see him. And he said there would be no purpose in your going. He had no daughter. And you pleaded with your father to let you see him.
I keep on telling you he's not my father. The college got it all wrong.
But your father put the telephone down, and Mr. McDowell said, "Come on, Fee, we'd better go back to Fulchester. I'll take you home tomorrow."
No, that's not so. All the time you were there, he kept on saying, "Let's go to the West Coast. Let's go and see the islands."
You were very upset, angry. Yes, and Mr. McDowell said, "Fee, he doesn't want to see you. Just forget him." And you ran out of the telephone box, and he ran after you and caught hold of you, and you pulled yourself away and fell over. And that's how you got those bruises on your wrists. And then you ran off. Now, that's all correct, isn't it? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Now, somehow, you made your way to Thurso, and Mr. McDowell had driven there too, and he was waiting for you in the road outside your father's house. Now, you went up the drive.
By herself?
Yes, my lord. And you rang the bell. But your father didn't answer the door to you. And when you came back down the drive, you were crying. Now, that's right, isn't it? Yes. And Mr. McDowell had got out of his car, and he was waiting for you, and he said, "Come on, Fee, I'll take you home." And you said that you'd wished he'd never brought you there, you'd wished you'd stayed at home, you said it was all his fault, and that you'd never have known your father was alive if he hadn't suggested you should write to the college.
He's not my father!
What makes you so sure, Miss Sumner?
Because when I went up the drive and rang the bell, he just shouted through the door, "Go away, young woman. I won't open the door, so go away." Well, if he was my father, he wouldn't have done that, would he?
So you never saw this man at all?
No. He just shouted through the door.